right after the game. Another difficult one, but you got over it in the end, and some good football played by Cavan in the second half. But you made it difficult for yourselves once again.
Well, we did, because we didn't finish all the chances that we created, which is probably a little bit unusual for us. Cavan is probably renowned for having scoring forwards, and today we didn't, maybe took some of the wrong options. We didn't finish it out. We still probably kicked 13 points. It was a difficult layout there. There was a very strong breeze blowing, and it did affect the play, because if you know it was kicking into the town end, it was very, very, very hard to get scores down that end because the wind was pulling it over to the far side. Look, it's a game we should have closed out. We didn't. We got the victory. I suppose the 2 points is a league result. That's what you're after this time of the year. If we can cut down mistakes, I think someday we're going to give somebody a bit of a skin on.
And is it, as I put the point to Ray Cullivan, they're a fairly robust team, and some of the players are very skillful, like Patrick Horney and that Mark Ferncombe guy in the forward line there. But overall, they put in some stern challenges there. Are they more difficult to play against than the run-of-the-mill teams like Westmeath?
Well, perhaps Cavan are smaller maybe than most of the kind of teams at the moment, and they inclined sometimes to take the ball into the tackle, which suits the bigger teams, and that's the thing they're going to have to learn not to do, and to move the ball that little bit quicker. And as you did allude to, we did make a lot of mistakes in our passing and things like that, especially with our foot passing, but things we're just going to have to work on. Perhaps we've been used to the safety of the hand pass game, and we're trying to develop it on to move the ball quicker. And again, teams who are dropping guys back now, you have to learn to move the ball with your foot. So maybe it's a learning curve for someone.
I did notice that as opposed to the game in Mullingar last week when there was hand passes, 78, maybe a dozen of them between the 20 and the 45, and you were going back out and maybe lateral passes to the 45 metre line. The foot passing today, well, they all didn't go to hand. They showed a bit of vision by the players, and it's something that if you can inculcate that in the game together with the short passing, I'd say you'll have a better game.
Again, it's all about adapting. You have to adapt to the style of the team that you're playing again. And when everybody seems to be adapting to this, get 9, 10 back behind midfield and close it down. So the only way is get the ball up there quicker. And if like the type of forwards we are playing inside, they're not big men, so the quality of the ball has to be better going to them. And that is probably where we have to work on. Sometimes we should kick maybe the areas rather than trying to kick it down the bodies and let them run onto it. It's learning curve. We probably have a high turnover players. We've settled team now at the moment, but there's 4 or 5 new fellas out there. They're just finding their feet.
Cavan supporters will have to be patient, because listening to them in the stand, they weren't impressed with some of the performances in the first half, and some of them talking about terrible football and all. But it's only February, and players are really only getting fit and getting into their stride at this stage.
Yeah, well, again, I suppose people will allude to mistakes, and they're simple mistakes, and sometimes you can't legislate along the line for some of the mistakes people do when they have the ball in hand. I thought a full back line were excellent today. I thought they played very, very well as a unit. There are 3 fellas playing 3 new positions. I thought Garrod had a very, very good first half, especially when he moved in the middle of the park. I thought Ray Cullivan, we had some good performances, but we just weren't consistent for the 70 minutes.
And finally, particularly out in the midfield area, as you say, Ray did play well, and particularly in the second half. And Pádraig Riley did a lot of work, but seemed to fade a bit in the second half. Midfield is an area you still have to address, I suppose, and you brought on David Givney. What is his fitness level like at the moment?
Well, David, in fairness, probably hasn't really trained since Christmas due to a back problem he's had. He actually torn his ankle in Westmeath, and he was unable to train this week, so that's why he's only been introduced for short periods until he gets back into a training program. He has to go and get a specialised training program due to his back problems. So it's going to take him 3 or 4 weeks to even get back up to a little bit of fitness.
And finally, Terry, when is the under-21 campaign getting on the way? I know there's a lot of skillful players will be involved in that, and that will probably be taken away from the senior campaign in the league. Well,
the 16th of March we're down to play for Mana. We have a nice team, as always, all right. There's some very, very good footballers, but it's championship. That's the difference. Is you're playing championship in March, and you go out and you have weather, you have elements, and you have to. It's knockout, so it's on the night. So hopefully we put up a good show again for Mana and get across it.
Terry Hyland, thank you very much for talking to us.